I'm James Holder. Welcome to another special episode of Not For The News here on Pitch Football. Quite fortunate enough to be joined by my esteemed colleagues, none other than Curtis Woodhouse. How are you, mate? You okay?
Yeah, all good, mate.
Good. And I'm also joined by none other than Leon Knight. Great to have you with us, Knighty. How are you, mate?
I'm all right, man. What's happening? You all right?
Yeah, I'm all good. So firstly, gentlemen, I think we should only look at England's draw with Germany initially. There's so much to dissect about what's been going on with England, but let's initially start with that. Curtis, give me your thoughts on it.
I mean, I thought for 60 minutes, it's as bad as I've seen England, really. Looks real devoid of ideas, devoid of confidence. And then, last 20, 25 minutes, the second coming of Brazil, weren't we? So, I don't know. The big problem for me is we're a couple of months before the tournament. There's hardly any answers, but loads of questions. I think his selections have been so rigid and so poor. No one has a clue of how anybody else is going to be able to do if anything from outside of that starting 11, anyone gets injured, because we've not looked at anything other than, I'm not even calling it a 3-4-3 because it isn't. England now basically play 5-4-1 and play long balls up to Kane and look to counter-attack. That is us. That is what we do. So you can dress it up as a 3-4-3 all you like, but it ain't that. And anything outside of that, we haven't even worked on before. So, yeah, I mean, it was painful, wasn't it, for an hour? Really, really bad.
No, I agree. Nighty, what's your assessment of the game against Germany before we break it down in a bit more depth?
It's shocking, isn't it? Just rubbish, really. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, what was it, 3-3?
3-3, yeah.
Obviously, just let the kids play, bro. I say kids. Imagine I'm saying kids. I'm old now, man. Jesus Christ. Just let them play. Do you get what I'm saying? Find a formation. We've got we've got an attacking, you've got Kane, Sterling, we've got an attacking sort of, some players in there. Just let them play. If we concede a couple, at least we're gonna go out there and try and flipping score a couple. Do you know what I mean? It just looks flat, looks dead. No one looks like they know what they're doing. It's just really, really, really it's a depressing time.
Do you know what? Do you know what's really getting to me, fellas? We're bottom of the Nations League group.
Bro, it's depressing.
We know Harry Kane's clearly going. We know there's other players in the squad that are clearly going. Why are we not giving other players a chance? Why are we not giving these players a chance to stake their case to be on the plane?
What happened to Tony?
The Tony one's a shocker. For him to go and get first squad he's not even involved in, the second squad, he's left to sit on the bench for 90. I do not get it at all. It's so, like you said, depressing's the absolute spot on word, because I do genuinely think we have some good players. We have some good attacking players with loads of energy, loads of legs, loads of pace. And the manager is stifling this group like no other. I think it's so hard because obviously he's got to a semi-final and a final, but realistically, in my opinion, they're two tournaments we should have won, and we didn't win either. We'll never get a better draw, never get a better chance. And he's taken this group backwards. You can't say that we're progressing under Gareth Southgate. No one can tell me that. We're going backwards very, very, very quickly.
What I don't realise, what I don't understand is, and what I'm starting to realise is that he hasn't actually got a clue. He ain't. He just ain't got a clue whatsoever. He just don't know what he's doing. Even when he comes out and faces the press and they start questioning him, he just don't look like he knows what's going on.
Do you know what else I find really peculiar? He's made this big thing about picking players that are in form for their club, okay? Picking players that are playing week in, week out. Now, I know it's easy to jump on the Harry Maguire bandwagon and, he's made these mistakes, this and that, but he's not practicing.
Sorry, lads.
We've got Fikayo Tomori, for instance, just won the Serie A last season. He's sitting on the bench. He's not had a chance yet again. If you're that confident in Maguire, then he's clearly going to the World Cup. Why is Tomori not getting any minutes over the two matches?
Yeah, listen, on the whole Maguire thing, Maguire's going to go and he's going to play, and he should go and he should play because, you look over the last 2 tournaments, Maguire's hardly put a foot wrong for England. So I don't think anyone can argue that he shouldn't be playing for England. I'm fully on the Maguire for England bus, 100%. But he's in the same bracket as Kane, like he said. We all know he's going to play. How's Tomori not even getting a shirt? And why are we not looking at other options? John Stones went down injured the other day. So who knows who he's going to play now if John Stones isn't fit? Because no one's been given an opportunity. And the Nations Cup should be treated as that, especially now we're already relegated. The Nations Cup is so we get an easier draw into the World Cup and European Cups and things like that. We're going to qualify for them anyway. I think we should just use it as a complete, let's have a look at Maddison, let's have a look at Tomori, let's have a look at Bowen, let's have a look at Tony, let's have a look at a different system. He's going to play 3 at the back. Let's have a look at 3-5-2. So we get 3 men in midfield and 2 strikers instead of this 5-4-1 nonsense. Wasted. He's wasted 12 months preparation, in my opinion.
And he's wasted 2 games to really try and let people put their name ahead and try and get into the squad. Like, for instance, like you're saying, Kane's going. Don't even bring him. I wouldn't even bring him. You know he's going. Give him a little rest. Yeah, give him a little rest. Don't even bring him. Maguire, he's going. Don't bring him. Play Tony up front. Play whoever else you brought there. Like, do you know what I mean? Even down to like Trent. I know we're saying Trent won't be on the play, but just see how it works. Use it as a trial period. Like, do you know what I mean? Like Curtis is saying, we're going to qualify for these tournaments anyway. 100%. Yeah? So like Curtis is saying, why not use it as an experiment to see what else you have? You probably know your starting 11 for the first game of the World Cup. You probably know it.
But this is the problem. Do we know our best players away from that?
No,
11?
I'm saying I'm saying not us, him. If everybody stays fit, he probably knows his best 11 and the 11 that's going to start. Yeah.
Question.
So if you know that.
Question, right? If his best 11, the players are not playing for their club team. We've seen Maguire so low on confidence. 2 of the goals against Germany are his fault. Should players that are not starting for their club, not in form, low on confidence, should they be automatic choices for an England place for a World Cup?
It depends. It depends on the actual person, an actual player. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's a difficult one, that. It does depend on the person and the player. But I agree with you've got to be in form.
Yes.
To actually go through and start playing and, into the World Cup, you're in form, you're going into the World Cup, you carry that form on. I'm all for that. But with some players, I do believe that, for instance, Cristiano Ronaldo for Portugal, he's hardly playing for Man United, but he's going to play. He's going to step up to the plate. You understand what I'm saying? So it depends on the person. And to be quite honest with you, we ain't got a Cristiano Ronaldo. We ain't got that outstanding bar Kane. Yeah. If he's out of form and ain't scored for 4 or 5 games, he can always turn up in the World Cup. Bar him, there's nobody else that's like that in our squad. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Just before we forget, big shout out to Jude Bellingham, by the way. Wow, what a performance. I thought he was brilliant. And he's a real shining light, amongst what was a pretty poor night, really, but I thought he was brilliant. It's crazy that kid's 19 years of age. He plays with so much maturity. And he was the one, really, when we went 2-0 down, that, when people talk about bravery and get your tackles in, he was the one that went, listen, give me the football.
He grabbed it by the scruff of the neck, as you say. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And for a young kid, I thought, wow, that takes a lot of spuds in front of 90,000 people at Wembley. He stood up to the plate and said, yeah, give me the ball. I'm getting us back in this game. So, yeah, I'm really excited about his future. But, yeah, the whole England thing, I switched the telly off and my head just goes with it because I just think it's just typical England and typical FA that we end up with someone like Gareth Southgate as our manager, who was 100% a milk monitor at school. 1,000,000%. You went to Gareth and asked for your milk. He's that guy. And we end up with him as our manager of the national team. It It annoys me so much because I think we're going to have a generation of players. Hopefully, he'll be gone after the World Cup, unless he wins it, which we've got no chance, have we? And with him in charge, we're going to have a generation of players, these young players coming through, that are going to be wasted on it. For me, he has to go. I'd have got rid of him. I'd have got rid of him 6 months ago.
I was going to come to this point, okay? Would any other big footballing nation keep the manager if he's winless in 6 games in the lead up to a World Cup tournament?
No, he's gone.
He's gone, hasn't he? He's gone.
Yeah, but again, I mean, you could argue his last 2 major tournaments got to a final and a semi. So,
but he still hasn't won anything, Curtis.
No, he hasn't.
Rating failure.
It's all good. I can name you some tournaments that I got to flipping semis and flipping finals. That means nothing. Do you know what I mean? We ain't got the medal. We ain't got fucking you.
I'm with you. And in my opinion, they're two tournaments we should have won.
Easy. The Euros. Was a joke.
Oh my God. And the World Cup, we had the draw sent from the gods. We couldn't have got an easier draw. And we still managed to mess it up. You know, we got beat by Croatia in the semis. There's no way we should not have been in that World Cup final. And we flopped. And whenever Southgate comes up against any sort of adversity, he does exactly the same. He freezes, he shits himself, and he hopes for a 0-0 draw and maybe try and nick one off a set piece. He goes full on Sam Allardyce with a batch of players that are really, really, you know, let them express themselves. We've got the ability in there. Get Southgate out and get someone in that can actually manage the group of players we have.
We should have learned a lot about the players outside of Gareth Southgate's starting 11. We should be going to the World Cup with 23 players that have synergy, that can interchange in positions, that we can play throughout the tournament. I just don't feel we've been given that. The players haven't been given the trust to grow into those roles. It's quite frustrating as a fan.
It's embarrassing. I'm letting you know it's embarrassing. Like, for us to be sitting here and saying, you know what your starting 11 is, so use these 2 games here as a little trial period for people who you picked, and you know, if they're up to scratch, then you know they've had 2 games. You can't now say, what are you gonna do with Tony now?
Yeah, I think you've killed him.
Like, what the fuck are you gonna do with him, bro? What's gonna happen with him now?
If he could make his debut for England in the World Cup.
Well, there's that argument.
But he's never going to bring Kane off in a World Cup game.
No.
So really, Tony's only going to play, if he's taken to the World Cup, he's only going to play if Kane goes down injured.
Injured, yeah. That's it.
Madness. And you know what? While I remember now, the whole Trent thing is an absolute liberty. The whole Trent thing, you know, we're playing 3-5-2. Trent is not a great defender. We all know that, but has got amazing ability going forward. And this is the England team who can't score. I know we scored 3 the other night, but can't score to save their lives. Why not play Trent as a right wing back and say, listen, have a stand, play high up the pitch. You know, we've got who played on the right side of the back 3 the other night? Was it Walker? Mm-hmm. We've got Walker there, who's probably one of the best 1v1 defenders in Europe. You know, so you can gamble and let Trent play higher. You know, let's see your delivery. Let's see you sliding balls through for Sterling and Kane and Bellingham making them runs. Let's have a look. Can we have that person who's going to play high on the right-hand side at wing-back and have Walker or James as your right-hand side of the back 3? Let's have a look. But to have him and take him and not involve him in the 2 games and then come out and say, like, Trippier's all-round game is better, I'm like, wow, Gareth, just stop it. He's taken Trent because he feels like he has to. He don't want Trent in that squad.
Nope.
He does not want him there. It's plain to see, and I just think it's a liberty. And I think Trent's probably at home thinking, Gareth, I'm not even going to say it, but he must just think this guy's an absolute nugget.
What do we say to people that say, well, he probably wanted to see how Ivan Toney mixed around the squad? He wanted to see how.
Bro, you don't.
No one cares.
No one cares about.
I want to see if he can score.
Yeah, no one cares about that. We just want to see how he performs in this a bunch of players. Yeah, and can he click? Can we nick him? Can we get him a goal? Do you know what I mean? Can we let him grow within the side? Because really and truly, if I'm thinking, who have we got up front?
Good point.
Kane and who?
No one.
This is what I'm trying to see. So now, ideally, whose group are we in the World Cup? Who we got?
Wales,
Wales, Iran.
Iran, and USA. You know what? We'll beat Iran, USA, and Wales. I honestly think these are close games.
Bruv, listen to me. Listen
We
to
could
this.
go out.
If I'm Wales or USA or even Iran, I don't know what first game, I am sweeping out Kane. He's gone. He's getting injured. I'm injuring him.
We play Iran first games against Iran.
I'm injuring him. He's getting injured. Like, I know it sounds shit, but these are things that happen in changing rooms. You're getting injured.
We'll be flying.
And then that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. After that, who are we bringing on? We're going to play Sterling up front.
Yeah, we're goosed. It's so annoying. I don't understand it. It's like, it's the equivalent of basically having a pre-season and playing your starting 11 all throughout pre-season.
Yeah.
And then you go into the opening game of the season, you got no idea about the rest of your players. And then a couple go down injured. You're like, oh, shit. I mean, it's a massive gamble by Gareth. Massive.
You know, coming away from the football itself, we saw a pub in Wembley was invaded, if that's the right word, by 100 German fans dressed in England kits. They came there to have a tear up, to smash up the fans. What do you make of that?
Yeah, but how do you know they were German? How do you know there was 100 fans?
Well,
They're just going off of what it's just what social media is saying. It looked like a bunch of flipping teacups thrown around, plastic teacups at that. Didn't look like nothing. A few lads shouting, get him, and that was it. Like, there was nothing else. Like, people take these things and try and blow them up into some big, massive scenario. Like, it was nothing. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't a fight. There weren't no fight.
Yeah, Nighty's right. Nothing really happened, did it? A few people just shouted really loudly. That was it.
But when these things happen and it's England fans being the protagonists, okay, it's blown up again massively. Why should it not be blown up when it's England fans clearly being victimised in this situation?
Because nothing happened, James. Nothing happened. England fans are usually tearing shit up. They're tearing up the sides of the flipping calves. They're throwing the chairs everywhere. Nothing didn't happen. They actually didn't happen. Nothing happened. A few people was running past going, hey, and this, that, and the other. And that was it. England fans go to flipping countries and tear the strip up. Yeah? That's why they've got a problem.
Hold on, let me just say quickly, not Russia.
Yeah, exactly.
They went to Russia and they got tumped up.
Exactly.
And then they started crying in the national paper. Oh, these Russians are like beating us up. Yeah, you've been doing it for years. I enjoyed the England fans getting bashed up in Russia. I enjoyed it. I was like, yeah, take that. Been running around the country for the last 50 years thinking you're bad men. And then they went to Russia. These Russian guys were waiting for me like UFC gloves on.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, nothing did happen, mate. So gotta let that one slide.
Do you think it should be a worry that that England-Germany sort of hostility between them two in the World Cup could come out again amongst the fans? To see it going a bit hostile over there.
Well, they're gonna be in for a rude awakening when they go over there and the flipping the police are waiting for them, mate. Because that country does not play around.
Yeah,
So,
all the best getting in trouble in Qatar, by the way. All the very best.
Absolutely mental.
I'm quite interested as an observer to see how a World Cup is run where they just don't take any nonsense out there. I'm quite interested to see how that policy is policed and how it plays out, as opposed to
there's gonna be some idiots who's gonna try their luck, and they're gonna see they will be the example. Yeah, they will be the example. They'll be locked up, caged up, charged, whatever happens with them. And, you know, it's just down to you whether you want to take that, learn from it, and behave yourself, or you want to go around the same route as them and end up in some hot-ass prison, yeah? And it will be hot out there, yeah? So imagine being locked up, and it ain't gonna be like no prison over here. You get what I'm saying? You'll be tight. You'll be able to touch each side of the wall like that. It'll be very tight and hot. There'll be cockroaches running through the place. There'll be a lot of things going on in there, bruv. So it's down to you if you're an England fan going out there and you want to act up.
Midnight Express.
You know what? As well, there's no community service in Qatar, mate. You're losing fingers.
Yeah, you're finished, mate. Honestly.
If you're watching, finished. You are going out there, I suggest you do behave because just behave yourself. Like support your team. Do you know what I mean? Drink whatever, because I'm sure I've seen some things about them saying, "Oh, you can only have a couple of drinks or this amount of drinks and whatever." Just abide by the rules. You're going out there to watch football. You're not going out there to pull girls or anything else other than support your country. So support your country, sing your songs. Do you know what I mean? Hopefully we can get some 3 points on the board and get to the quarters, semis and finals or whatever, and then come home. Yeah. That's it.
It is. It's really simple. They need to go out there, remember who they are. Your name's Dave. You're a painter and decorator. Slow yourself down. Leave the marching powder alone. Stop thinking you're 10 men. Otherwise you'll get beat up and you'll get locked up. Just say, go and enjoy the football. Let everybody else enjoy it. And just relax yourselves, Dave.
Yeah, you heard it. You heard it here first from Curtis. Okay. Now, racism has reared its ugly head again, as we've seen. We know we're never far from seeing these sort of incidents, regardless of how much a campaign people are trying. It still seems to be surfacing. Richarlison, the latest player to be victimised during an international game for Brazil, having a banana thrown on the pitch and being taunted by his fans. When does this stop? How do we stop it? Let's open up a can of worms here. I'm going to initially go to Nighty on this. Give me your take on it, Nighty.
Like, I don't see... Let me get this right. I don't see what the big issue is with dealing with racism. Like, it can be dealt with. But they do not want to deal with it head on. They don't. I can give you some things now, examples, yeah, of how you can deal with it. Me.
Go on.
Deduct 3 points.
Yeah.
Simple. The person, if they got them on camera, who's throwing a banana or who's racially abusing, you're going to get jail time. You're never coming back to this stadium again. You'll be banned from all stadiums. Yeah? So every single thing you're going to do now, support your team, you have to watch on the TV. Yeah? There's 3 things already. They don't want to. They don't want to face it on. They don't care. They're always going on Black Lives Matter, this, that, oh, you know, we're in it together and blah, 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 and this, that, and the other. But you're not dealing with the actual problem. You're not dealing with it. Your team is getting deducted 3 points. If we investigate and you're one of your fans, yeah, and you put it out there from the start of the season, if one of your fans, yeah, acts up and any sort of racism, yeah, at all, chance, fruit thrown on a pitch or whatever it is, yeah, your team will be deducted 3 points. You could have won 6-0 that day. You ain't got that 3 points. The 3 points go to the other club. I guarantee you, yeah, that the racism would slow right down. Completely.
I get what he's saying. I think it's something needs to be done. A massive deterrent to impact and stop people from this type of behaviour. But how do we do it culturally when these things are happening in other nations, like we're seeing with the Richarlison incident? Is there something that could be done on a worldwide level for
Same thing. 3 points, you've gone. So you could be in the semi-final of a World Cup. You've lost the semi-final. Simple. I know it seems extreme, but you don't want to flipping cut this out of football, no? So let's try and cut it out of football.
I think I said a couple of weeks ago, and I'm refusing moving forward to talk about anything regarding racism. I'm just so bored of it. You know, 90's from the same era as me, where it's been taught. I mean, I started 17, so I started 25 years ago, quarter of a decade. just been hearing the same shit over and over again. It just gets boring. And I think until people actually realize what the issue is, that it's never going to stop, because racism in football is big, big business. Big business. We're talking about $1 billion businesses, racism in football. You take it out, a lot of people lose money. So it ain't going to go anywhere. You know, I just people are just going around in circles, and it's so boring and so transparent. You know, all these big corporations that are trying to, you know, tackle racism in football. Have you ever actually gone on Company's House and seen what sort of money these guys are turning over per year? The CEOs, the directors, they're making some serious cheddar. You know, for them to try and eradicate racism is like turkeys voting for Christmas. It ain't going to happen. And I'm so bored of people skirting around the issues and not actually knowing what's behind it all. It's just boring. Can't be asked.
They start new adventures, new companies. They've got a new CEO, like the Black Lives Matter thing. I'm seeing on TV a black person, we're in it together. A white person, we're in it together. An Asian person, we're in it together. Now, what are you in together? Getting paid for this advert? Because nothing ain't happening. I had kick it out when I was flipping that football.
Yeah, we had the T-shirts, didn't we?
This is what I'm trying to say. So what's happening with that?
It's just long, isn't it?
Go and look at what they're earning on that. Not to this day. What's happened?
Do you look at them as a brand? Do you think these things should be looked at as a brand rather than a movement to help people?
$1 million%.
They ain't helping no one.
$1 million%. It's business. It's a business. That's what it is. It's not a brand. It's not a movement. It's a business. They are running a business. Anytime anyone's getting paid, that's a business.
And if you stop the racism, the business stops. If you stop the business, the peas stop.
Yeah, come on.
End of story.
Are these not the people that are highlighting these incidents? Are these not the people fighting for equality? If we take away the people fighting for equality, what happens?
You're missing a big thing, James. These are the people that are highlighting it. Yeah, 100% correct. Because if you highlight the racism and all that's happening all over the world, and it's really, really bad, and this, that, and the other, it makes people think that these businesses, which I'll call them, are needed.
And
when in reality,
they're not.
They're not.
What if one of these businesses was, I'm not digging any business out by any stretch of the imagination, it is what it is. What if there was a non-profit driven organisation at the head of this? Do you think it would have more respect and more credence than...
There'll be nobody doing anything if nobody ain't getting paid. Simple. There'll be nothing.
No, he's right. Honestly, it's so boring, this is. I've been talking about it for years and years. I'm so bored of it. I'm so over it. You know, if no one was getting paid, then none of this would exist.
They was throwing bananas on John Barnes flipping 30 years ago. Still happening now.
Got a point. You got a point, Marty. You got a point.
Do you get what I'm saying? So what are you actually doing? So John Barnes was before my time. Yeah. And at my time there was still racism. Yeah. And then the Euros the other day there was racism when Saka and all that missed the penalty. Yeah. Now you're telling me Richarlison's getting bananas thrown at him again. So what is actually happening?
And on top of that, so from the 70s to 2022, where there's been this massive, pandemic of racism, how much billions of pounds has been thrown at it, and what's actually been achieved?
Nothing.
Apart from a lot of people getting rich.
And apart from a lot of people coming on camera going, oh, it's disgraceful. Like, they talk about it on camera like they actually care. They don't care. Not even the black players in flipping on the TV care. They
Listen,
don't care.
I've said how you can stop this overnight. And I've said it many times, and people just kind of, no one responds to me that's actually on this platform or has got a platform. How you stop this overnight is it's so simple. All you do is, if you're a black player and this is affecting you how you say it is, or even if you're a white player, you know, and you're against racism, which everybody is, nobody, you know, is for racism. All you do, it's simple. You say, I refuse to play until this is dealt with, until this stops, until we feel that this is being taken seriously. We as a people, black people, white people, people in general, we're going to refuse to play. So the World Cup that's going on, we ain't going. The Premier League that's happening, we ain't going. And that would change things within 48 hours. That would get people around the table and we'd say, right, if there's racial abuse in the stadium, we want this, 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 and this. It's set that way and we negotiate it until we get something that we're comfortable with. That's how you do it. But that will never, ever, ever happen because racism is £1 billion business, a £1 billion industry. If it disappears, a lot of people have to go out and get real jobs.
Do you know how it could happen? If someone like Mbappe did it. Okay.
No.
You need a global player to walk off a pitch because of racism.
You need more than one. You need.
This is, and it's not just Mbappe. You need a big bunch of players where it's affecting more than one team.
You need England. You need Manchester United. You need Liverpool to say we're not playing any more games until this is dealt with.
Arsenal.
That's what you need. Arsenal, anyone, any of the major teams, they come out and say within 48 hours, progress will be made. You know, when you talk about, you know, and I know we're going probably a bit too deep into it now, but first of all, I must say the racism isn't the pandemic that people are trying to, you know, portray it to be. It isn't. The racism in football is not the pandemic people are preaching it to be. So whenever there's a civil rights movement in the 60s over in America, people risk their lives because they wanted change. They risked their lives. People died over it, you know. So if it was as serious as what people are saying, then people surely risk 6 months pay for it, 3 months pay, you know. So people either need to shut up talking about it because it's so boring, or actually do something that will carry some sort of weight. No one wants to wear a t-shirt anymore. No one wants to take a knee. If you are that serious about it, then do something that'll make a difference. If not, just please be quiet.
Yeah, don't come on TV and putting out a ball as a black player and going, we are together and all of that, because that ain't gonna do shit.
Yeah.
That ain't doing nothing. Like Curtis is saying, stand up. You got enough money as it is already. Take 2 months out. Say, you know what? We're not playing. It will fuck up everything.
Come together. Come together as footballers and say, we ain't playing.
Yeah, simple.
Imagine.
If you need an advert, okay, of a black and a white player together saying the words come together, and that's what is going to make you not be racist, then there's something wrong, isn't there? Like, how is that going to change anything? The amount of money that was spent on these campaigns, like we're getting at, how is that going to change anything?
Like, what you don't understand is that it's not changing nothing. Understand that.
Please,
understand.
Yeah, Knight is right. Don't change a thing, but we need to remember, we need to always keep coming back to it. So these adverts and all things like that, you think people are doing these for free?
Money. Do you think Sterling is getting up in the TV on BT Sport, putting the ball in front of the camera and going, we're together or stand together? Do you think he's not getting paid?
Big business,
Do you actually think he's not getting paid? He's getting paid.
Yeah.
It all comes back to the same thing. Racism is
right.
business. Turkey's voting for Christmas. Nobody wants it to go that's got power. Nobody wants racism to go anywhere that's got any sort of power. So all these...
Nobody cares.
I'm not even I don't know what to call. I'm calling them businesses. You know, we all know them. They've been around forever. All these businesses that are trying to ram this down your throat are doing it for financial gain for themselves. It's long.
And they don't, they really and truly, they don't care. They do not care.
like if they did, they could change it overnight.
No.
I'll give you a couple of reasons and saying, listen, just deduct 3 points. Wherever that banana comes from, make sure you find out, because there'll be an idiot who will try and fucking disguise as the next team's fan or whatever. Do your little investigation. If he supports that team and he's there supporting that team and he threw the banana, your team has just lost 3 points. Or your team is now out of the tournament.
Your team's not allowed to play for 3 games.
Yeah.
Something. Like, do something that's going to... Like, if you're a fan, you're not going to risk your team, 3 points. You're going to get backlash from every single fan who supports that club.
100%.
Yeah?
Could you imagine it? Could you imagine if that were the case and someone was playing up in the stadium?
This is what I'm trying to say.
Everybody knew their club was going to lose 9 points because of one idiot.
This is what I'm trying to say.
Overnight, it would change overnight.
I'm telling you, people, like, it sounds extreme, but it's not extreme. It's just one rule. That's it. If,
You know
like,
what?
for instance, when the guy racially abused Sterling, when Sterling was at City and the Chelsea fan racially abused him, yeah, 3 points straight to City. No matter how if Chelsea beat City 10-0 that day, 3 points. You're never coming to the stadium again. We're gonna point you out as you, but they're gonna then say it's so flipping snowflake nowadays. They're gonna go, oh, we can't do that because the person will be at risk and stuff from this, that, and the other. It's just, but the whole thing, they've got the whole thing like this.
Well, listen, I'm feeling myself getting frustrated just listening to our conversation because we're skirting over it again, by just taking 3 points off a football club. How do you monetize that? How do you transpire into making money from that? The answer is you can't. So that's the reason it ain't happening. But how you can monetize things are advertisements, branding, clothing, documentaries, films, books, CIC companies, limited companies, weekly wages, dividends. Listen, I'm asking people to go online and look at these things that you can see. You can look into limited companies and see where the money's going. It's as plain as a nose on your face.
You think Rio's doing them programs about South London? You think he really cares about the people that's coming out of South London? Do you really think not that he don't care, like to say, but do you really think he's putting in that much passion? Because he cares. He's getting paid. He's getting paid. You think he's doing it for free?
I understand your point. I do understand your point. I don't want to link Rio working on TV to some.
No, I've said Sterling.
I get where you're coming from.
Don't get it twisted. I'm not putting Rio in a position and saying he ain't doing enough. I'm just saying it's a big business. Everything stems off from these little things. All the flipping armbands and the boards around the flipping ground and every damn thing.
Imagine we wake up tomorrow and racism is no longer a thing. It's just not a thing. So we have Men in Black where they put that thing to you and wipe your memory. So imagine we wake up tomorrow and racism's not a thing. Mate, there'll be so many people starting off OnlyFans accounts. Because they'll be out of work, mate. They will be out of work.
Is this a problem with charities around the world? Okay, that
in every sense,
donation money only makes it to the actual charitable cause. Is this not a bigger problem within society that we're sort of looking at?
But it's been like this forever. It's been like this forever. It's like that in the churches.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? It's been like this forever. You give the church some money to try and get the carpet to fix up or for them to clean the carpet, and the next minute you see the pastor in the Benz. Do you get what I'm saying? It's been like that forever.
It's true, man. Do you know the thing that frustrates me more about the whole racism thing is it's clear for everyone to see if you do 15 minutes of research.
Curtis is knocking on the research about, hey, you lot, Go and research what Curtis is talking about,
Mate,
because I'm coming off the phone in a minute and I'm going to research it.
Mate, it's a 15-minute job. It's a 15-minute job, and it will blow your mind. And then you'll start to put 2 and 2 together, and it'll start making 4. It won't make 5 anymore. Oh, why is this racism not going away? Oh shit! 15 minutes on the internet, mate. You'll find out why.
It's monetized. It's a weird world we're living in, lads. It really is.
No, it's money, isn't it?
All about the Benjamin.
It's a corrupt world we're living in, mate. It's not a weird world. It's a corrupt world, mate, and it's all about the money.
On that note, gentlemen, I've got to say I thoroughly enjoyed discussing the finer points of England.
All right, so what about this? What about this?
What?
Versus
The what?
what Curtis brought up.
What, the players?
Yeah, what's going on with that?
Yeah. Okay, we can actually got time to throw one of them in. Actually.
Quick 5 minutes.
Yeah, let's do one. Who are we thinking then? As it's Curtis's little idea.
Yeah, go on, Curtis.
Let him come with the picks. What are we thinking, Curtis?
Because you said Rooney versus Owen, innit?
You know what? That one's caused quite a bit of.
That I think we should start on that, to be honest.
Yeah, let's start with that one. And yeah, so, but the thing is, what we need to remember with this, we're going peak versus peak, okay? Forget longevity and all that. Peak versus peak. And I don't even know if I'm right, but I think peak Michael Owen for them 2-3 years was better than peak Wayne Rooney. So hold on. So let me think. So I'm thinking Owen in that World Cup where he ripped Argentina a new one. He was on fire. That that Michael Owen against, what would you class as peak Rooney? I think Rooney's been at a high level.
Rooney at the Euros. Rooney at the Euros just before he got that injury.
Yeah, he got injured. He was ridiculous that Euros.
That was peak Rooney, in my opinion.
But was he better than Owen in them Euros than Owen was in that World Cup?
It's hard to say. They were slightly different types of players, even though they played in the same position. Owen had that burst, didn't he? That he was gone. Where Rooney had a bit. I
think Rooney as an all-rounder peak was better than Owen. Like
so,
when Rooney bust on the scene, bruv, it weren't Wimbledon bust like Owen bust on the scene. Remember Owen scored his first goal was Wimbledon, yeah?
Yeah.
At Selhurst Park. It weren't that. He destroyed Arsenal. And it weren't no tapping, yeah? When he was 16 years old, yeah, bruv?
I'm hearing you, but can I just say, did he destroy Arsenal or did he just score a really good goal?
Well, after that, you tell me what happened. Because that weren't even peak Rooney.
Yeah, I just think, right, 0-0, 89 minutes on the clock, the ball goes over the top, World Cup final, who you wanting on the end of it, Owen or Rooney? For me, Owen's a cold killer in front of goal. And listen, Wayne Rooney never won the Ballon d'Or. Have you seen that? Have you seen the list, the top 10 list when Owen won the Ballon d'Or?
Yeah, there was bare man there.
It's ridiculous.
There was a couple people on there still.
Mate, I couldn't believe it.
Zidane.
Someone showed me the list the other day. I was like, "Oh shit!" Owen was that guy, was he?
He was scary. He put fear into players at that stage.
The problem Owen's got is he has a big chunk of his career where he was bang average, and people remember that rather than the peakness. Peak Michael Owen, peak. I think he's better.
He ain't better than Rooney. No chance.
I think he's a better.
Not peak.
Let's break it down. Okay? Let's break it down. Finishing, peak for peak. Who's better finisher?
Owen.
Really? I want to
Left
say
foot, right foot, in the air. Owen. Owen.
Left foot.
Owen's left foot was decent. Did you see
Man.
Oh, hold on.
Curtis, come on, man. Let's be real out here, bro.
Hold on. Let me just give you an example.
It was a swinger.
What about the goal he scored against Arsenal? Left foot.
It looked awkward.
Bottom corner, mate.
Owen only had 1 or 2 finishes. He only had 1 or 2 finishes. Rooney repertoire of finishes.
Do you think Rooney's better finisher than Owen?
Bro, listen, Where was guy was breaking it down? James broke it down. He said left foot finishing. You have to give that to Rooney.
Rooney, man.
I'm not sure.
It was incredible.
I'm gonna have to go on YouTube.
I'll even give right foot finishes to Rooney.
Rooney could strike a sweeter ball, could score more goals, but I'm on about like when the winger gets it and Owen's getting across that front man and that type of instinct, that Ian Wright instinct. Oh, Rooney didn't have that. Owen had that.
No, but this is where what James was saying. There was kind of different players, even though they played in the same position. Rooney weren't that darting across the goal. He was more like build up and then he's flipping coming onto it. Like, do you know what I mean? He ain't in the box waiting or whatever. He would pick the ball up, beat a couple of persons, smash it in the top corner. Like, It was kind of different with that. But I'm saying if we're going left foot, I'm definitely going Rooney. If we're going right foot, I will take a draw. Yeah? Because Rooney's no joke, you know, bro.
Yeah, Rooney can finish. Rooney had, and James is right, Rooney had more finishes than Owen. Rooney could dink the keeper and everything, but Owen never missed. Owen did not, he did not miss.
Owen was clinical. He was very clinical. When he got in, his runs, they knew that they weren't catching him. And he was clinical with his finishing.
When Michael Owen went through on goal, I went to put the kettle on because I knew what was happening. I didn't need to see it. It's a goal.
I know what you're saying.
Right.
But
right, so look, we're gonna give finishing slightly to Rooney.
What?
Let's go movement.
Now, just Owen. Next question. Don't even.
Well,
I'll go
next, Owen.
Owen. Okay, let's go. Ability to do it in a big game.
Owen.
Behave yourself. Are you all right? Are you actually all right, bro?
Argentina, man.
And then when? Who else? Arsenal, the FA Cup, and then when?
What did Rooney do?
Rooney was doing it week in, week out against the top clubs.
Nah. Owen against the big teams on the international stage. Michael Owen delivered. Rooney got injured.
A little bit on there. I think Owen's just edging that category.
He delivered, mate. Owen did it in the World Cup as well. Rooney did it in the European Championships. It's just
if he hadn't got injured in that European Championships, I think we could have been talking about a little bit.
No. Listen, we're not judging on ifs and buts and maybes. Let's just judge on what he did.
Yeah,
he got injured.
All right.
Okay.
Let's go. Mentality.
That's a no-brainer, isn't it?
Yeah, Rooney's crushing the mentality one. I can't even.
No-brainer.
To come up from 16 and to be doing it for that long, yeah, his mentality was ridiculous. And to be fair, Owen struggled badly with injuries and down tools a little bit towards the end because he'd gone. But yeah, Rooney mentality, next level. Elite. Where are we now? 2-2. We need to get some categories which we're judging on, don't we?
Yeah, well, we're kind of just discussing it and trying to break it down. I'm trying to find logic from our own memories. Do you mean?
Heading ability.
Heading ability, gonna go Rooney.
100% Rooney.
Gonna go.
Where? Did he ever score a header? Did he?
Yeah, he scored a few for United.
Because I can picture a few Rooney headers. Them ones, Owen headers. Them ones where he's got across the front, glanced it in. I can see a few of them.
Rooney scored a few headers.
We need the viewers to start looking at this as for YouTube. I just think you're just making shit up.
No. Rooney scored a few. I'm sure he scored one against Juventus in the Champions League. I'm almost certain. He scored a few headers. I can't pull it down to a T, but he scored a few headers, 100%.
What are you stuttering for, mate?
All right.
I'll go Owen on that one though, still, but go on.
Yeah. Okay, so 3-2 Owen.
In their peak, if I want someone in my side, I'm going for Rooney up front.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going for Rooney up front. You know, if he ain't gonna tuck, yeah, he's gonna try and create something. If he ain't even creating something, he's gonna cause some sort of You know what I mean? He will lift them up. He will fucking have a go at people and this, that, and the other. If Owen ain't scoring, he ain't really doing much.
Yeah,
He's not doing much. His hold-up play was average. Yeah? All right, his runs and his goal-scoring ability was top tier at his peak. Don't get it twisted. But apart from that, his overall game was very, 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 very average.
Owen came alive in the final third, didn't he? Really?
Yeah,
He came alive.
But I'm just saying, like, I know he scored a few goals where he's took it round people and he's beat people and whatever, but this is pace he's doing this with. You see, as soon as Owen lost his pace, he was gone.
Yeah, he was gone, yeah. 1,000,000%. I just said to James earlier, so Owen had that, like, you know, there's quick players, isn't they? And then there's like, oof.
Yeah.
He had that, like, he could have been a sprinter pace. You know, he probably ran 100 meters in 10.5 seconds. Yeah. He was scary, was Owen. You know what I think I really don't think he gets the credit he deserves, Owen.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. Don't get it twisted. He doesn't.
Yeah. But 90, he was playing in a tough rear, more physical as well, Owen.
Oh.
The players he was coming against, like,
listen,
ridiculous.
Tackles were allowed back then, but he was so quick. Yeah, he was so quick. It was like you couldn't really clap him. Yeah. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because he will put his actual overall style of when he had the ball was he would just push it past you.
Yeah, he didn't have a trick.
He will find his way around you. He will bend his run around you where you're not going to actually... Now you have to actually take him out.
We're not going on longevity here. We're going on peak for peak.
Yeah. I'm still going, Rooney.
If I could have got that peak Owen for his whole career and that's his level, I think he would have been unplayable. I think what he did so well. If he got in and he got a yard, you weren't catching him. His finishing, in my opinion, weren't as good as Rooney's. But his overall effectiveness at peak for peak power, in my opinion, was a little bit higher. If you're looking for that type of striker, Rooney would bring other people into play. He would link things up. He'd give you a moment of magic in the game. But consistently, you know, if you go over the top or put Owen through, it's over, isn't it?
Imagine them in a two-man front.
They would have been the ultimate two, really.
Yeah. At their peak as well, it would have been a whole different situation. And then you've got Gerrard and Lampard and all that, Scholes and all that behind you and all that. Yeah, it would have been.
It's up there with Bebeto and Romario.
Yeah. It would have been. It would have been very, very difficult to hold them to.
I'm gonna make you pick only one of those to go in our team today. Only one of them can be included in this 11 that we're building.
Okay. I'm sounding like I'm not rating Rooney, and I really am, because Rooney was for real. But if I'm going to number 9, and I'm wanting goals, and Rooney could score as well, so but I just think peak Owen was. I think he was the one, you know. I'm going Rooney. I'm going Owen.
Okay. One vote for
you Owen. You don't know who you're going for. You said Rooney a couple of times, bro. I'm telling you. I'm gonna throw something in there for you, Curtis. Fowler was better than Rooney. Peak.
Who?
Fowler. Peak. Finishing. I'm not talking about pace or anything, even though Fowler was pretty decent over about 15 yards. But peak Fowler. You are having a laugh, bro.
I think peak Fowler, here's what, peak Fowler may be the greatest finisher England has ever seen.
Bro,
he had every finish.
But he was dumb.
He was
stupid finishing level.
Yeah.
Like, as a striker, you would watch him. Curtis, it might be the same for you, like with Gerrard and them sort of players as you played in the centre of midfield. But as a striker, and you're watching Fowler, you're just thinking, how did that even go in? Like, what? Like, he had a thing where he had no backlift.
Yeah.
Now, as a striker, if you've got that is a major, major advantage. Yeah, you can shoot while running. Yeah, you don't have to actually like rear up the shot and you get power. He had power in the no backlift as well. It was dumb.
Yeah.
He scored a goal. I'm sure it was in an FA Cup or something against Aston Villa where he cracked and turned a geezer and then pinged it. And I said, like, he didn't even look like he lifted his foot back enough to get that power. He was outside the box and everything.
Yeah, you know
He
what?
was
He had every finish. He could smash him in from 30 yards, or he could chip the keeper in the 6-yard box. And you know what? Just what I'm thinking now, you don't even realize at the time, but look how many like ridiculous centre forwards there was back in them days.
And then I know
now, and
I
now
know
we're
doing
talking
Ian
about
I know we're
Ivan
doing-
Toney. Respect
No
to Ivan
disrespect.
Toney. Respect to him. You know what I mean? But come on.
You're a bad fella.
But this is what I'm trying to say. I know we're building an 11 and we're doing now Rooney versus Owen. But that's a disrespect to Fowler. That's a disrespect to Ian Wright. That's a disrespect to other players in Shearer in that sort of elite finishing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sheringham, cold finishing.
But I'm talking about, like, I know Sheringham scored goals and this, that, and the other, but he was more like a target, man. Like Les was a target. Andy Cole, bro.
Dwight York as well, Bergkamp.
No, but these players
Play for England.
These players were Bergkamp and them was like creators. Even York was a creator.
Yeah. But the ones that we just mentioned there, they're all England players in the same era. They're all in
England.
In the same era.
This is what I'm trying to say. And now we're dealing with just Harry Kane.
Now we're fucking trying to get a tune out of Ivan Toney.
This is what I'm trying to say.
90. Michael Owen, Wayne Rooney. Who gets in the 11?
My 11 is... What we playing, 4-4-2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Old school.
Yeah, if we're playing 4-4-2 old school, I'm going Rooney.
So next week, why don't we do like the partner? So
Yeah.
We're working our way.
Work from the front. Work from the front.
Yeah, we're going to work our way in 11. It don't matter what positions, what order, but we will have an 11 from the matchups over the next 11 weeks. So
is it all England players or just?
No, we're gonna have debates of player versus player, but I'd like it to mean something. Obviously,
I think coming up to the World Cup, and we're all English here. I think we should just do English players. It will make it better.
Turns out I got the deciding vote. Owens are playing at number 9 for us, lad.
Yes. Rooney is not even getting in our team.
Listen,
England's leading goal scorer is not in.
Rooney can still compete for the number 10. So the way I look at it, there's still a case for him to be included as the number.
No, you lot are disrespecting.
No, he's out. He's out. He can't be debated again. He's
wow. So
Rooney's
it's Owen first. Jesus, I can't believe it, James. You are a real life prick. You know that?
I had to do it. It took me a lot. I had to balance it up in my head and to calculate everything, go through everything, think about it. Effectiveness, peak for peak, that moment. I need a 9. Who's going to go? Boom.
I want that tenacity.
I want Rooney at 10.
I must admit, I feel really uncomfortable now with Rooney in my team. Really uncomfortable.
I'm telling you, what the hell's going on?
I'm gonna compete for Rooney at 10, to be honest.
Who we going next week to play up alongside him?
No, Curtis, I'm going to let you choose next week's 2 comparisons again, okay? Because this is your idea, so you can give us an idea to think about it now, or do you want us to wait till next week on the next?
And I need you to pull it on Twitter again as well.
Okay,
yeah, we'll put it out on
at the pitch footy. Pull it on Twitter. That is with, here's the episode, and we've done. It's been voted.
I'll tell you what we do. Why don't we give Rooney another chance? And we put him up top alongside him or Shearer.
Jesus Christ.
It's got to be those two if you're looking for a 10 for England.
Rooney or Shearer. Wow. Different players. But
Shearer was more of a 9, but yeah, I do see it.
Yeah, but Shearer's a hold-up, man. And Owen's the going through on goal. Like, you can slip him through and then you've got the hold-up man in Shearer. It's going to be tense.
But Rooney can do that. Rooney can hold it up. He can pop into that 10 position.
Right. Before we debate before we go in on this is for next week, this player comparison.
Yeah.
So
Is that all going on there? Yeah. Shearer.
Yeah.
Shearer, Rooney.
Shearer, Rooney. Rooney's got to get redemption, I reckon.
Imagine if Rooney don't get in. He has two attempts and he still don't get in.
No, put it on Twitter anyway. Tell them what we're doing. Put it on Twitter. And our first pick over the two was flipping Rooney versus Owen, and the pick's been Owen. And do not include my name in saying that Owen it was me that. Well, they're gonna watch this and they'll see.
Well,
I'm absolutely pissed off.
They can see the balance. I think we've made some points, and I do apologise if we've left anything out. To say we go off our brain with what we remember. So it's kind of personal.
I just want to say before we go as well, all love and respect to Ivan Toney. I didn't mean nothing against it.
No, listen.
I like Ivan Toney, but
Ivan Toney, listen. If you get put onto this podcast and you see it, we're not disrespecting you. We rate you highly. Like, do you know what I mean? You coming from where you've come from, and you're playing for, no disrespect to Brentford again, yeah, but you're playing for Brentford and you've actually reached international level where you're getting picked, and it's on the verge of a World Cup. Like, you've done, it's stupid achievement.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Ridiculous.
You're not your team's not even top 10 in the Prem, and you're getting picked. So obviously you're doing something right. So we're not disrespecting you. It's just the era you're born in, and the era we're talking about and putting up players against, and you're not better than them. Please hit them players. So no, we didn't. It's not a boy. We can't boy him, bro. We can't boy him. No chance we can boy him. But
no, we can't put you in.
Real. We can't. You're not even in the top 50.
No,
it's not.
And that's not a disrespect either.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
It's all love, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it's all love, bro.
Watching this show on the YouTube, please go on your phone, type in Pitch Football, Pitch Footy, download our app for giveaways, competitions, fan content, shows like you don't believe. And we look forward to seeing you next week for another episode of Not For The News. Thank you very much, gentlemen. It's been a great pleasure as always. And I'll catch you real soon.
Nice one, boys.